This bride basically wants each one of her bridesmaids to contribute $500 to her honeymoon. And in addition to each bridesmaid contributing $500 to the honeymoon fund, she also wants everyone to get down to a size 8.
The average cost in New Jersey to have a wedding is $50,000.
Like, if I'm enjoying myself and I spend some money on a party or on a get-together for my friends and we're having a great time, it was worth it.
Fact.
Right.
Okay? I don't want to be thinking tomorrow about all the bills that I have to pay if I didn't get all the envelopes.
YOLO.
So I think if you have it, spend it. And then, you know what I'm saying? If you get the envelopes, hey, it's a pleasure.
Back to Food, Wine, and Conversation. Thanks for joining us tonight. We have another dope conversation that we're going to get into. Would you pay $500 to fund a bride's honeymoon? But beyond that, we're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking a little bit about the
Grammys and how it went, who wore what, you know, a little bit of that.
And the average cost to have a wedding in New Jersey.
Crazy.
Crazy numbers.
I'm sure, because it's New Jersey. But before we get into all of that, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit the notification button. Come and enjoy not only Food, Wine, and Conversation, but enjoy One-on-One at 8 at the Table and enjoy other 8 at the Table shows. So join in the conversation. So we were supposed to go live with you guys. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty, but no worries. We'll be back next Tuesday. So join us next Tuesday. We will be back at it. Nothing can hold us down. So we'll be back to join you next week.
Live,
right. So listen to this, right?
Our
this
guest.
is, yeah. Oh,
Our special guest.
I'm sorry. So not only do we have all these really dope conversations that we're going to get into, we have a really amazing guest that's going to join us. We have Sherby, who's going to be joining us, right?
yes.
All right. She's an astrologer, so she's going to tell us all about what's in the stars.
Yes.
And about signs and kind of drop knowledge on us about things that we don't know.
Yeah, she'll answer some questions that, you know, a little curious about.
Answer your questions you're curious about?
Not me.
Not you personally?
No, but other people.
All right.
Loud noise.
So listen to this. Let me know what you think about this. So you guys have been watching the show. You know I love Reddit. I kind of spend a lot of free time on Reddit. There's so many threads and subthreads. I enjoy it. I'm here for all of it. This bride basically wants each one of her bridesmaids to contribute $500 to her honeymoon. And in addition to each bridesmaid contributing $500 to the honeymoon fund, she also wants everyone to get down to a size 8. She pre-selected her dress. She's been planning her wedding since, I guess she can say the word wedding. And so she has a vision. So if you're going to be in her bridal party, expect to pay $500. This is not including cost of the dress and cost of makeup, cost of hair, cost of taking the day off, whatever. That doesn't include that. So now you have to pay that and $500 and starve yourself for the next 6 months if you are a proper size 14.
Oh my
by
God.
the way, average size of women, right? That was the average size of women, size 14. If that's your average size, you're gonna be having to go down to a size 8 by any means necessary.
Damn, somebody gonna hit the treadmill for how many months?
First of all, if that's my best friend, I don't think we would have been friends again.
I mean, would you not respect her vision though?
I get it, but do you have to go that extreme?
Some people are real anal, like they have a vision.
Yeah, I get you have a vision, but why you, like, that's too extreme for me.
I think she's entitled to want what she wants.
Right.
Okay, I will not be
Everybody.
attending the wedding as a bridesmaid. I probably might not go, because
Because you're offended?
why are you getting married if you don't have money to go on a honeymoon? Because you should have pre-planned that. Okay, I don't think you should get married if you have all these, oh, you have to pay $500. I want to go on vacation too. And if you have 8 bridesmaids, how much money do you need to go on a
like $4,000.
Like, dude, nah.
Yeah. I have a question.
Yeah.
My thing is, you have to know your circle. You have to know who your friends are.
Right.
So I'm sure she's not going to ask somebody that cannot even afford $500.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? You can't put up, if you know the person can't afford it, you can't put that burden on the person.
Even if you, first of all, you shouldn't be in people's pockets. You don't know people's lives. Even if you believe they can afford it. You know what I mean? Sometimes don't be fooled by the illusion, okay? So even if,
I mean, but you know your friends. You know your friends. You know your friends.
I do know my friends, but I don't know their pockets. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what you're going through in your personal life. You could drive your Bentley and vacation in the Hamptons and fly to Cancun every other week.
No,
that doesn't mean I know your pockets.
No. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but you have to know who can afford it and who cannot.
I don't bank on that.
It's not about you don't know anybody's pocket. You have to know. For her to ask that, she has to know that, you know, her friends are capable of doing it.
You are really thinking a lot of people are more considerate than they are. When somebody wants something, they are focused on what they want.
But my thing is, does it matter how much money I have? Does it matter that I can afford it? I am not responsible for your honeymoon.
Yeah, that's true.
You should be responsible. Like, should you be getting married? If you're asking other people to finance your wedding, finance your honeymoon, should you even be getting married?
Well, actually, it's a new thing, right? It really is. It's amazing. This is a new thing. They have these things called, I know we were going to talk about GoFundMe, but it literally is that. No, it's a real thing. So what we have now, post-pandemic, post the shutdown, you have 52% of Americans between the age of 18 and 29 that move back with their parents.
Okay.
Right.
That's the greatest number since the Great Depression.
Okay.
The Great Depression, 1929. Like, you know, Americans love talking about the Great Depression. People were boiling their shoes so they can eat. Real talk, right? Boiling the leather of their shoes so they can eat. So you have the greatest number, 52%, going back. You have to live with your parents to survive. These are people with jobs, right? So right now there's a shift in the economy. People have to find ways. That doesn't stop love and marriage. So now apparently it's a new thing. People still want to get married. People want to still share it with their family. So they're developing honeymoon funds, and they're developing newlywed funds, and they're developing ways to allow that to happen. So
funds from somebody else?
Funds from, okay, so it's like, let's say I'm getting married to Jean. We announce our engagement. We create the newlywed fund, right? Which is really no different from when you go to weddings. I know we're going to talk about wedding etiquette when people give money. So across cultures, right? Yes. What I learned is that's a typical thing where you give the new couple, you give the bride and groom money, including in the Polish culture, money for the honeymoon.
Okay, we're not in Poland. Okay,
we're in the U.S.
My thing is, okay, so guys, the rumor this morning was about Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker, right? Mm-hmm. So supposedly they eloped, they went to Vegas, they got married, and this is alleged. We're not sure if it's real or if it's not. Someone said that it's not, but we don't know.
Right.
Right? They said it was just an act. So my thing is, if you can still have a wedding, you'll still be married, because the whole purpose of the wedding is love, right? Because we love each other and we just want to get married.
Yeah, you hope.
Sometimes you just gonna have to elope. Because if you don't got money to pay for the wedding, if you don't have money to pay for your honeymoon, dude, just elope.
Just elope?
Just do that, because what you gotta pay for? You got they had Elvis at the wedding.
Like, Elvis impersonator.
Elvis impersonator.
It was Elvis. Nobody knows. So I just think that sometimes you have to be realistic as to what it is that you can afford. And I'm assuming that this girl, she had her vision, right?
Yeah, she has her
because
vision.
She said it from the time that she can say wedding, right? She's been planning her wedding, and she's entitled to do that. But at the same time, if I'm telling you that I'm not going to give you no $500 for your honeymoon, then that's just going to be what it is.
But
and I just won't be part of that vision. You're going to have to add someone else, remove me, and add the next person.
That happens. But you know what? As a wedding planner, cost of a wedding is tremendously expensive, okay? The average cost in New Jersey to have a wedding is $50,000
That is a down payment
on a house.
Yeah.
Right. So people are spending that much money to have a wedding. So I get what they're trying to do,
Right.
but it shouldn't be.
Don't apply pressure.
Don't apply pressure. Like, don't say, hey, this is what I'm expecting from you guys.
But are we taking away the community feel of it, right? So the origin of like weddings and, historically speaking, like a man and a woman joining, it was a community celebration.
Yes.
And everybody came together to make it happen. It wasn't just the responsibility of the two people, right? So I agree with you about the eloping. Now, I think people who elope are more concerned about the marriage and getting on with it. And people who really want that wedding, they want that celebration piece of it. They want to share their love. They want the laughter. They want the memory. Right? So is it fair to look? I had a wedding, right? And so the other piece of it, you also have the parents of the bride, right? A lot of it was my mom. My mom, she had this whole vision. She, I was her only daughter, so she really had this thing that she really wanted me to have this really nice wedding, and she was more excited about some of the planning than I was. So now you have to take into consideration other family members because they have this vision for you.
But I just think that over the years, it's been commercialized. So it's like now, you have to buy these many, so many flowers, and you have to buy this, and you have to get this, and it takes away from the celebration.
Right.
So now it's not, we're married now, but tomorrow we're gonna have to worry about the bill, and those you already get a down payment, but you ain't finalized. You know what I'm saying?
$50,000 in the hole.
You have to pay, and then it's like now you got this big old rock. You might have to part that.
That's that etiquette, though. Bring them that paper.
Okay. So guys, let's say this: you get this beautiful invitation,
Right.
right? You get the invitation, it's beautiful, and inside, it has an RSVP, and it also says. It's $75 per person.
Ooh, bad tone.
Okay? Now, we know
Bad etiquette.
that it's an
Not knocking nobody, though.
unspoken rule
I'm knocking.
that when you come into the wedding
Yep.
as a guest, you usually put the little money in the envelope.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because two people are starting their lives, and they might need that to
Right.
pay for the bills that are coming tomorrow.
Right.
So my thing is, we know, but why do you have to write it? That to me, that is like so tacky.
It is. I don't under.
But
and
no.
is that-
But my thing is, they want that up front.
No,
before the wedding.
They want that before the wedding because they saying this is how much it's cost per person. I need this
Before we even
come.
No,
And then wait a minute. I'm paying.
'Cause that's how it
hold
is.
on, I'm paying for my dinner and
Yes.
my presents, and then I have to
Okay.
give you a gift.
I didn't read that part.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's how it
gotcha.
is.
So I have to give you a gift also.
I mean, if you choose to, but if I'm paying $70, I'm not giving you no gift.
And
Number one,
usually-
do not send me an
I'm not
envelope
giving you no gift.
saying to send you $75. No, it's not going to
That's how it is.
I didn't see that, but what I read on BuzzFeed was the couple asked the guests for $75. And when I was looking at proper etiquette on how to do it, it was, we were talking about this earlier where we said that when you're younger and you go out and it's a celebration, you have like, your teenagers, you sit around the table and it's like you guys are just paying for each.
When you're young.
For each his own, right?
Right.
It's like you're paying for your food. So you're a teenager, 18, even 21, 25 even. But once you get to a certain age, it's like a certain etiquette. And like I said, it's an expectation. But when it comes to a wedding, it's an unspoken rule that's what you have to do because you know that it is expensive to have a wedding. A lot of times you pay per plate.
Yeah.
But I will never send you cash for the wedding. You see
in advance.
Yeah, in advance. Yeah, you paying for your plate. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
Where
See,
is that
that's
happening?
not.
Because
That's
I'm
not.
not doing that.
That's not a good look.
Actually, I know a wedding that was like that. They ask for you to pay for your own plate.
Yeah. I mean, look. It all depends on the situation of the people. And I know, so like, again, some people really, really want this wedding to take place. They really want this celebration take place. And part of the problem is you don't have enough trust that your guests are going to bring you a nice envelope.
Exactly.
See, all across the globe, whether you're talking about Japan, first of all, Japan is sick with it because like when they give money at the wedding, they give money at the wedding. You know,
and Africans too.
Nigerians, Spain, Italy, like all across the globe, people, it's a ritual where you have two young people starting out. And so you kind of want to give them a leg up. So you bring money, right? And I know that in American culture that it's been adopted because it's like a melting pot, right? That's what America is. It's a melting pot. So you have all these different cultures blending in. And so over the years, you've moved away from wedding registries to like now, which I love. Just you ain't got to stop and go to the store to get anything. You bring the envelope. Right. I think part of the problem is they don't trust their guests.
Yeah.
They don't trust that they're going to come and bring you an envelope. Because if it was like, okay, the wedding is going to cost $30,000, right? And you know you invited 200 people, whatever, and you know you're going to get at least a minimum from $50 to $200 per guest from that wedding, you good. You ain't tripping. You either break even with a little sprinkle for the honeymoon. The problem is, some of these guests, be like 80% of them, just show up with a smile.
$25.
But you know what? According to Vogue, right, the approximate cash gift to give to a person is $127. See, unless you're not friends, you know, you guys are not close or you're not friends with the bride or the groom, it's like $50, $75. That's the minimum you could bring.
I have a rule of thumb for myself when I go to a wedding, right? And this is going to sound crazy. I take into account a few variables. I take into account the person, how they carry themselves, the venue, where I'm going. Is it black tie? Is it cocktail? And so after I take into account variables, I estimate how much each plate is, right? So let's say I'm going to a wedding and I know that the person is spending about $125 per plate. I'm gonna put $300 in the envelope.
Per person? Or for you?
For the bride and groom. Okay. If I'm going to a venue, you know, a modest venue, and I know that they're probably spending $35 per plate, I'm gonna put $100 in the envelope.
Yeah.
So to me, like, that's just basic etiquette because to me, like, that's the whole thing. I know you're starting out. It's this new thing. Let me tell you something. That night when Gina and I got married, it was tight as hell. But you know what we did?
Open the envelopes.
We just open up them envelopes. I was like,
let's see who didn't bring any cash.
I was like,
and you know everybody that was at that wedding. You're like, oh, this person didn't bring.
Them envelopes.
This person didn't bring.
And I
this
went right
person
to
didn't bring.
Got high off the cash and went right to sleep. All right, so I guess it really depends to each his own on how you approach it. But look, somebody's getting married. It's all across the globe. Bring them cash. And to me, it's bad to be asking money ahead for food. For food. You know what I mean?
For the cost of the wedding, yeah.
Let me tell you, one of the best weddings I've been to was a very small, intimate wedding. It was beautiful. I think, including everybody, that's including the bridal party, down to the person who officiated the wedding. It was a total of 50 people. Everybody.
Wedding.
And it was intimate. It was nice. It was fun. It was great. They were very particular about who they were going to have at their wedding.
But you know what I think? Nowadays, people are having these extravagant weddings. It's just to show off.
Well, maybe you're excited. When you're excited, you want to show off. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you excited, you know, you want to show off, but come on.
Dude, you lose 10 pounds, you want to put on a tight dress and go walking. Like, it's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay to want to show off.
It's okay to spend $100,000 on a wedding?
No, I'm not. Look, don't go bankrupt.
If you got it, you can do it.
If you got it, you can do it. But like this girl who's asking
if you don't got it,
$500
to me,
for a
I just
honeymoon,
think that
like that's whack.
If you
don't got it, don't do it.
If you have the money and you can have your wedding, I would think that I can understand if I spend $50,000 of my money for my wedding because I'm enjoying this day. And a lot of times, this is what I think. Like, if I'm enjoying myself and I spend some money on a party or on a get-together for my friends and we're having a great time, it was worth it.
Fact.
Right.
Okay? I don't want to be thinking tomorrow about all the bills that I have to pay if I didn't get all the envelopes.
YOLO.
So I think if you have it, spend it. And then, you know what I'm saying? If you get the envelopes, hey, it's a plus. You get to put your money back,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Put it back into the savings or put it back into your new house or whatever it is. But I just think, like, if you got it and that's what you want to do, that's your dream. Like this girl, that was her dream.
Yeah.
And she wants everybody to be a size 8. Hey, if that's what you want, that's what you want. It's your day. But another thing, I think her boyfriend told her to do that.
We don't know. I'm always ready to blame the man.
But, you know, if you got it, have a good time. Go on your honeymoon. Think about all that when you come back. And if you get those envelopes, congratulations.
Look, in today's economy, you definitely don't want to be stretching yourself to show out. You really, really
To flex.
don't.
Right.
It's
For
very
real.
unpredictable. Did you hear what I said about 52% of people are back home living with their parents? Yo, you do not need to stunt. You do not need to go broke, especially not for one day, because you're not even going to enjoy the wedding because you're going to be thinking about all the money that you're spending. Dude, if elopement is not your thing, as a wedding planner, there is so many options that you could provide. You don't have to have a $52,000 wedding to have a beautiful wedding.
No, you don't.
You can have some, you know what I mean? People can maneuver.
You could have a nice wedding, $10,000. Like,
don't go broke stunting.
But we in Cap City, so you know how that goes. People be out
people
here capping.
Capping.
They be like, they would rather have that 50,000. They will worry about them bills tomorrow. But you know what was in Cap City? The Grammys. Okay? I think people were out there. They were showing out. Everyone was looking good. You know?
For the most part.
For the most part, yes. We had little suspect outfits out there. But, you know, for the most part, the ladies were looking beautiful.
Yeah.
So, who did you like, Yumi?
I like Doja Cat's outfit. I like that split. It showed all her thighs.
Yeah, I've noticed that's the new trend, that the slit needs to go under my rib cage.
Right.
I noticed that everybody's got that very, very high slit.
I like that.
Yeah, that's cool, but one win and the cooch is revealed.
Listen, if that's what you need to do.
On another note, right, guys? Speaking of that, I was thinking that earlier. Is there etiquette on how to dress at a wedding? Because nowadays, when I see females at weddings, they're wearing like clothes like they're going nightclubbing.
Yeah, I think it depends on the bride. So I know that was a little controversy. It was. That controversy happened a few months ago where Kendall Jenner got some backlash because she wore a very revealing dress to a friend's wedding. And people were like, "You're doing it now."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It turns out
the friend was okay.
She sent the dress to the friend. So now I don't know if the friend's in fashion, you know what I mean? But she sent the dress over and she says, really want to wear this. And the friend's like, "Do it. That's like fly. I like it." So maybe
I want to hurt her feelings and say no.
No, we don't know. If you have a fashion-forward bride, maybe it's not an issue.
No, but you had to know, like, it's the wedding. Come on.
If I have a wedding, I want all my friends to look fly. Okay?
I think the real rule is don't wear white.
Yeah, we know that.
And I've seen that, first of all. I've seen that. Like, I was like, damn, girl. You had one rule. Don't wear white. Now, first of all, according to you, she was dressed nightclubbish, right?
Right.
And then on top of it, the dress was white. I was like,
and it was white?
And it was white. I was like, dude, like you had one thing.
Does she want to be the star, the attention?
Okay, but I think that a lot of, when you see these magazines and they tell you, oh, it's wedding season, a lot of the dresses now are lighter and, a lot of times you don't necessarily wear a white dress. And now a lot of the guests, what is it called? Telling them to wear. This is what you could wear to a spring wedding or a summer wedding. It's lighter colors.
Yeah, the attire. Yeah.
No, now if you have a preference, and because I've seen that too, I've seen a bride request everyone wear white or off-white.
Off-white, right.
So that's fine, but I think like just in terms of just good etiquette, like girl, there's 100 billion other colors. You don't have to wear white. It's like just choose a different color. You mentioned, I want to circle back to the Grammys.
Yeah.
We can circle back because there's a couple of looks that I liked, and there was a couple of looks that
Then I didn't really see the red carpet with the dresses. I just
Okay.
saw the Grammy.
because you were talking about Versace stole the show.
I think Versace was like showing out this year. I think that she was like, a lot of people were wearing Versace. You know, Donatella was out there looking like a teenager. So
That's questionable.
Right.
no ways.
Them knees didn't look like a teenager.
They did it, but
But these did not.
I actually really enjoyed Meg Thee Stallion and Dua Lipa.
Yes,
Right?
that dress.
I really enjoyed them recreating the Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston moment from years ago. I don't know exactly what year it was,
brown
but you
dress?
know, they wore the same dress
Yeah.
and they did the whole thing. And then Donatella came up and she ripped it off and she was like, "Now this is a dress I will wear," or "That's what you know." So I really liked that moment. I think that it was like really cool. But everyone looked great. Oh, you know, my favorite dress though.
What?
Sweetie.
Oh, you like that pink
Sweetie?
get
I
up?
like that dress. You know, I think she looks great all the time.
She looks, yeah, I mean, I wasn't really moved by it. I thought it was,
I just think she looked good.
yeah, she looks good. She definitely looks good. And I love that color. You know, I
Yes.
love that pink. But yeah, it didn't do anything for me, really.
Yeah, I liked it. I think it was like a lot of colors this
it.
year.
I didn't
She was
see it.
wearing essentially a two-piece dress,
Yeah.
essentially kind of like a bra
It's like a
ensemble
bralette type
with
thing,
a
with a long
long
skirt.
skirt.
Long
It
skirt.
was like a two-piece, but
Yeah.
I think it was the color that really kind of
Was it
made
like
the dress.
silhouette?
It was no, it was kind of a
Open, kind
open
of. Yeah.
kind of gown dress.
But I do like that, like even at the Oscars, it's a lot of color, a lot of yellows,
Yes.
a lot of pinks, a lot of like sheer.
Those are the colors for the season.
And so I really enjoy
color.
seeing all those colors.
Do you want to know what my favorite look was?
Who, Marie?
Yo, I love Lenny Kravitz because he's so bold. No.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, Lenny Kravitz was really out here wearing knee-high boots. Dude,
Wait, knee-high boots? Women knee-high boots?
yes, he had heels.
With the heels?
With the heels. My man had the leather pants on with the leather knee-high
boots.
with the heels. And I was like, Lenny gives
He
it
is
every
bold.
time. Yo.
Yeah, he is bold. He's very
Right,
bold.
Girl. They were tight. The pants was tight. And he had,
definitely
he's so
bold.
lanky walking. You know,
Uh-huh.
he's like, I think he's
Very
like
small.
57
Oh
years
yeah,
old.
he's like
Yeah. And
yeah.
he looks good for his age.
He looks great
keeps
for his age.
himself
Really good for his age.
up. He really
Yeah.
keeps himself up.
That was my favorite look because any man,
rock
heterosexual man,
that.
heterosexual man, because
Who
we all
can
know
rock them?
Lenny be getting it. They love them some Lenny. Yo,
That's suspect to me.
no, it ain't. Not to them.
That's suspect to
I
me.
promise you, Lenny had somebody on
Okay,
his
I'm
back.
sure he
legs
does.
split
I
that
just
night.
I don't necessarily enjoy that from a man.
Oh no,
I
because you
don't.
like a masculine man. But it's like,
Yeah.
okay, remember how women go crazy, or rest in peace, go crazy for Prince? Like
Yeah.
Prince, they go crazy
for
with
him.
his size 4 waist. He let you know he had a size 4 waist. Okay? He did. He let that known on Oprah. So he was very flamboyant, but people went crazy, and you saw Prince always had those Apollonia looking
Yeah.
women. So
Yes.
that's very much Lenny Kravitz. I love me some Lenny Kravitz. So that was my favorite look of the night. Yeah, once I saw those boots, I was like, it's over.
Yeah, it was.
My least favorite look was, what's that guy, Lil Nas X?
Oh, you know, he was recreating Kim Kardashian's Met Gala look.
Yeah, I wasn't
And you know, I wasn't feeling it. A lot of
What did
these
he have on?
guys, I don't know what's going on. He was wearing like a pearly white. I
Yeah.
forgot who the designer was. Damn, I forgot who the designer.
Balmain?
Balmain.
Balmain dress?
Yes.
A dress?
No,
No,
he was wearing like
Suit?
a top with a pants, like bell bottom type of pants, a little
Yeah,
bit.
and I also didn't like Justin Bieber's look either. I don't know
Yeah,
what that
Justin
was.
Bieber looked like a hobo.
It was like a you said a hobo.
Yeah.
It was like a really massive, oversized
Yeah.
suit.
Not the thing.
It's supposed to be, I guess, avant-garde, but it was just like not. a
Yes.
bag. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
no. Well, guys, we're gonna bring in our guest. Give us a couple minutes.
We'll be right
be right
back.
Right back with our guest.
Our astrologer. All right, everyone, we're back with our guest, Shervy.
Hi guys.
Astrologer to the stars. Sherby,
Yes.
I want to know, how did you get into astrology? Like, did you have like this calling from like young? Did you have like a connection? How do you get into that? Like, are you born with this gift? Like, how does that work?
Well, to be honest, I feel like I've always been into astrology ever since I was a kid.
Right.
But you know, being raised in a Christian like family, I've always suppressed that.
Okay.
So I kind of didn't give it that exploration until I graduated high school, and I was always into like the music industry because I'm a singer.
Oh, okay.
So how that came about was I would look at signs just to see what kind of relation I had with some kind of celebrity. So that's how it came about. I just got so obsessed with like studying like different moon signs, different like planets, etc. And I just saw myself being so inclined to it, and here I am.
Do you think like it was like so when you so you've studied the astrology?
Yeah, I studied it. Yeah.
Okay, so can you explain to our audience the difference between astrology and like psychic abilities? Because I think sometimes people will just put them all in the same thing. They'll look at a medium, an astrologer, a numerologist. Is that a thing too? People who count numbers? Okay, so no, something. Like people will take all four and think it's the same input. Is it the same thing? Is it different? I don't know.
I mean, to be honest with you, I feel like everyone has intuition.
Right.
You know, just like when you feel like something's not right, you get a hunch.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like we all have it. It's just you exercising it like a workout. You know, you like following your intuition. Now, I feel like both can go hand in hand. You know, just like I feel like science is kind of similar with astrology. I just feel like it's mixing science and spirituality, because when it comes to the stars, it's the influence it has on humanity, if that makes sense. Like the energy pool from that force. So in a sense, I really do feel like they both go hand in hand, if that's what you're asking.
Okay. Do you have psychic abilities?
I feel like we all do.
Okay.
I feel like we all do. Everyone has.
What's the lottery tomorrow? I'm just kidding.
That's funny.
I'm kidding.
No.
But do you know it?
Can you tell us?
Trying to change my life.
I mean, hey, I don't know. You might know yourself, you know? Like, even for me, sometimes, like, I don't even feel like I'm psychic. Things will just come to me. People will be like, oh, my God, how did you know that? And I'll be like, I don't know. You know, it's just like an inner knowing again. Like, everyone has.
I be feeling like that sometimes. I just be knowing.
Yeah, you just be knowing. Like, oh,
I be telling you guys.
Like, for instance, like...
What do you mean? You be knowing? Knowing what?
Lonnie's highly suspicious of everyone, so her be knowing. You don't know how to differentiate.
Shush. I be knowing.
It must be the Sag in her, too, you know, with the signs, like the meaning of things. So.
She knows. She knows. So I have a question, because I know that a lot of people, like now you go online and they'll be like, the moon is on Sagittarius and your thing.
Yeah,
what does that mean? What does the moon being here mean? And what's the other one?
Like
the moon and
like the Mercury rising type of thing?
The moon and rising.
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
I
What
might
is
have
it?
made
Can you explain that? Because I
retrograding.
There we go.
Wow, this is a lot of like.
Yes, that's I said the moon.
Oh, see, you see how we're clustering it because we don't know.
I understand.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me start with this, right? The moon does change signs daily. Okay, so for example, the moon's in Gemini right now. How ironic, last week I spoke about the moon in Gemini and how that's on my South Node. Your South Node's basically like the sign you shouldn't be in. So I was being very distracted. Like, you see how I was late here today. So yeah, it was like so much distraction for me. So it was like very challenging day. But yeah, it changes daily. This is why the moon is ruled by Cancer. This is why they're so-called moody. People should say, like, they're like, oh my God, they're so moody, or they change up most of the time similar to Gemini, but it's because like they're constantly feeling the energy that's constantly transitioning, if that makes sense. Okay. Now, there is planets that go retrograde. Now, when those planets go retrograde, like Jupiter or Venus, that means that energy will be shifted in a backwards way. Like, for example, Mercury goes retrograde almost every 3 months. So a lot of people that are ruled by Virgo or Gemini will be heavily affected. But worldwide, we will be, because Mercury is ruled by, technology, communication phones. So you might see out of nowhere your phone's not working, or your car broke down out of nowhere, or let's say you've been had to fix your TV and now it's like it's not working at all. So yeah, that's like Mercury retrograde. When that happens, most likely that's what's going on. So
is that something we should like take into consideration, like when this is all happening? Because a lot of people are not into like astrology, you know, sign, or oh, I don't care, I don't know about my sign. Like, is that something we should all like put into our consideration that this is happening when the moon or retrograding or whatever?
Yeah, so when certain planets are going retrograde, like I feel like people should key into that. It's like the weather transit. You want to make sure you know if it's going to rain today, so you can grab your raincoat. So it's similar with Mercury retrograde. I would highly want people to like know these things, because you might prevent yourself from actually like getting into a situation, or like basically balancing out what's happening.
So I know, like, you know, when I came like in contact with a lot of people, some people be like, oh, Mercury's in retrograde right now, and that's why things like my mind is going crazy, or I can't figure things out, right? So like when Mercury's in retrograde and it happens, so when you go to
every 3 months.
Yeah, so what other planets go in retrograde? Or do other planets go in retrograde? Or just
The chart. It's just different timings. It's just different timings.
Okay.
Like, it all depends, okay? Like, but the most planet that does go retrograde often is Mercury. That's why a lot of people do know about Mercury, because that's what people talk about. Even at the workplace, I remember I used to work at TD Bank in New York City. And every time Mercury went retrograde, the machine, the filing machine would go down, or like, just something's not going through correctly, or we have to redo a transaction just because it didn't process correctly. So again, there's just things that could be prevented if you're like paying attention more. That's what Mercury retrograde is basically saying. You need to refocus, pay attention, or redo, because it's retrograde. Okay, so you have to redo something, all right, to get it right and back on track. Or else you're gonna drive yourself crazy and think like you're insane. Okay, when really it's
now is there like someone that's telling us this? Like, do you just hear about it?
Okay, so there are different astrologers that talk about this. Like, again, it's kind of like the weather report. Like, you have different weather channels and whatnot. Now there's like apps now. You know, we're in 2022. Like, people download that tells you, hey, this planet's going retrograde. You know, information. And we have something called Google. You could just like look it up, and it'll tell you. It'll give you different dates, even from, you know, for the year to come as well. Like, it'll tell you about that. So.
Okay. It'll tell you like what's coming like
yes.
next month. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
So we were talking about weddings, right? And how, you know, some people are asking for money and stuff like that. What two signs should not get married because it's
Oh, we're going there. Okay, cool.
I want to know, because it's like, if your money not right, what two signs? Because I
be getting married?
From what you're saying, I hear Gemini got a lot of confusion going on. I think Gemini might be one of those that might be asking for the $500. But what do you think? What two signs?
I mean, honestly, this is sounding very Libra-ish, because they could be the finessing signs.
Okay.
Make it seem like, oh yeah, give it to us as a gift, but really we can't afford our wedding, so just pay for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Like the finessing. It could be Gemini, because they're the trickery sign. So basically air signs. Beware of air signs, guys, okay? They're getting married.
Watch out for them air signs.
Yeah, because like the mental, it's kind of like they kind of trick you, or they're trying to make it go their way, basically, to justify their reasonings, if that makes sense. Okay.
We have to ask, because, you know.
Is it air sign or earth sign? Because, you know, earth signs can, excuse me, I'm sorry, y'all can be cheap, all right? Y'all can be cheap sometimes, or y'all just like the budget.
Thank God I ain't no earth sign.
All right, we spending just that money, and then whoever come with that bread, that's what we taking for us.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I would say.
I'm a water sign.
Oh, she said I'm safe.
I'm safe.
Oh, damn. I must have skipped that because I ain't see a budget in my life.